Today we're checking out the brand new VFR-110 by Valeton. This is an FRFR active cabinet which has been kindly sent to me by Valeton. They're not paying for this review, they're not even sponsoring this video, they've just sent me the speaker. They want an honest opinion, no money's been exchanged, and the thoughts are my own. Now before we get deep into it, what is an FRFR active cabinet? If you've got anything like a real cab or a real head for your guitar, then you'll know that that speaker, that system, that amp is coloured. And what I mean by that is they've changed or they've tuned the frequencies to certain specifics. And that'll sound great if you plug your guitar directly in. However, if you're using things like multi-effects processors, they have cabs built in, and then you plug it into an amp and that amp is coloured, because it's an amp and you've already got an amp on the effects. So then you're going to get this weird sensation of you can't hear the effects properly that you'd heard in your headphones, or it's going to sound just a bit odd. That's where the phrase FRFR comes from, because this is full frequency flat response. That's what it means. So if you've got a multi-effects processor that's got a cab and it's got a head and it's got loads of effects inside it, then you plug that into a speaker like this, and this is meant to be flat. Now this is the first FRFR speaker that's been developed by the Valeton team, and if you're familiar with them, they do some amazing effects, and of course we did a video about their brand new looper. And a full range flat response speaker is different, as I said before, from a cab or even a PA. A PA is still coloured as well. A PA is designed for picking up everything from keyboards to vocals to guitars to acoustics to pianos, whereas this is dedicated to be a flat response because you're pumping in sounds that are from a multi-effects processor. But this gives you a rich recreation of what you've got on your pedal board, and therefore it sounds exactly as you expect it to. Now this is the VFR-110. The output power is 1300 watts, but that's peak. It's 650 watt program and 325 watt as rated. The maximum sound level on this is 124 decibels, so it's pretty loud and it's really powerful. Inside here, there's a 10-inch woofer and a 1-inch tweeter. It's a Class D amplifier, and the frequency range actually goes from 55 Hz all the way up to 20 kilohertz. Now, when it comes to speakers for guitars, you've got two options really. Plug into the PA, but then you're not getting the true sound that you really want, or you can bring that amazing sounding cab and amp and speaker with you, but you're lugging it around and it's really heavy, it's really cumbersome, certainly if you want to take it to like a practice. If you go into a rehearsal room or a studio, they might not have the speaker that you want, that you've been rehearsing and you've got that cool sound and you want to replicate it, it's just not going to happen. But on the back of this, it's got a couple of switches just to change a couple of things so you can have this the way you want. So right now I've got it on my speaker stand. You can see the way the words are written, which means you can have it wedged, so you've got it right in front of you, or you can have it on a speaker stand and elevate the sound when you're at a live gig. So spinning this round, we've got handles both here, there's one here, and there's one at the top here as well. There isn't one on this side though, and I would have thought that would be quite good if you're going to lift it off. But there's one at the top and there's one at the side. I'm just going to unplug my guitar, and on the back here what we've got is we've got a volume A and a volume B, which are independent. Input A and input B are both combi jacks, so whether your effects processor goes out by XLR, that's not going to be a worry. You can plug in obviously both here. They've not called it left and right, it is volume A and volume B. Then you've got an output which is A plus B, so just be aware of that, which is XLR. If you're going to send that out to a PA or you're going to send it out to a sound desk, that is the combination of both of these two together. As I switch it on at the bottom, you can see we've got a power and we've also got a limit light as well. Oh, and if you look at the dials here, Nigel Tufnell will be very happy because these go up to 11. Look. The other thing in between the two connections here, we've got a ground switch. Obviously press this in to reduce noise and hum, or you've got loop noise, of course, which you can turn in and turn out. It's set as out as by default. And then just to change the sound slightly if you need it to, you have contour and you have bass. The contour switch will actually reduce 1 kilohertz by 3 dB. So in the 1 kilohertz range, you'll go down by 3 dB. That's your kind of mid scoop. And if the sound is too boomy, then you've got a bass cutoff. It will take off the low frequencies. It'll drop the 65 to 55 down by 8.5 dB. This is really useful if you get into a room that's really echoey and it's actually not got sound treatment. And this starts at 55 hertz, so you could cut those bass frequencies off and keep it sounding natural. There's a built-in crossover for this for the tweeter and the woofer, and that sits at 2.6 kilohertz. And both the 1-inch tweeter and the 10-inch woofer are custom made by Valeton. You've got your power switch and you've got your power connector, and then you've got your fuse box here. There's actually a spare fuse inside, by the way. So if you do actually blow the fuse for whatever reason, guitarists can do that, then you can actually have a spare fuse there just to keep yourself going. On the bottom, of course, as you already can see, it's got a speaker stand holder, which has also got a dial at the bottom here. You can just see that there, and there's a dial there to lock it into place. Now, the way it's been designed, as I say, you've got 2 handles here. There's a handle here and there's a handle here. So if you're putting it into a wedge shape with your pedal board, then you can do that. And on this side, you've got a flat part here, and then there's a angle part here. The only thing it's missing really is it hasn't got any feet. So it hasn't got any sort of feet print on the side to hold it in place, and that's the only sort of criticism I'd say about the design. Weight-wise, it's 10.6 kilograms. Dimensions-wise, 51 centimeters from top to bottom, and then 28.5 on the width. And then on the depth here, you've got 30 centimeters. Having a dedicated FRFR speaker for your guitars, it's going to actually elevate the sound because of the problem, as I said before, of carrying a cab and a speaker, whereas completely honestly, what we can do is I can just lift this and it's not that heavy at all. As I say, 10 kilograms in weight, it's not that heavy. Especially when you compare it to the weight of a big Marshall amp or something like that. This obviously is a lot lighter. Now, I've played through a couple of examples just so you can hear it, but it's not going to do it any justice because the way YouTube actually compresses sound, if I put a microphone against this, it's not going to sound the best. What you need to do is get one and hear it in the room that you're in. So I've left links in the description box if you want to go and pick one up. Thank you very much to Valeton for sending this out to me. And if you want to have a look at their looper, it's got one of the most unique things that I've not seen for ages, and it could potentially change the way you loop.